moving forward. All right, everyone get ready. We are diving into deep, something truly game changing. And we will be witnessing more details today by none other than Mr. Rakesh Bhatia. Now let me hit you with a quick fact. What is vital? It is the future of the smart infrastructure. It is a framework that isn't just smart, it's brilliant. Think about buildings that learn, adapt, and improve the way they function automatically. We are talking about efficiency, sustainability, and automation at a new level. To take us through this fascinating world of Vital, we have got our specialist, Mr. Rakesh Bhatia, who has been at the forefront of smart building innovation. They say the future isn't something we wait for. It's something we build. Every day we step forward. And Vital here is to create the future. It is going to be the future of the smart building ratings. And I'm sure with 3 buildings in our kitty, we have many more to come in coming months. So get ready to unlock the power of smart infrastructure. Let's give a big round of applause for Mr. Rakesh Bhatia.
Good morning, everyone. Today we are at an inflection point, I would say, where Kapil, you spoke about something, what should be done. Here we are actually taking a leap into what is possible to be done now, because now is the time when we can integrate everything together. But before I go into the Vital journey, I would like to just tell you that how important a role each one of you over here who's present is playing in this entire journey. This entire system has been co-created by each one of you over here through INBAC. So I am really personally grateful to INBAC that this opportunity came up and we were part of this entire co-creation journey. And what we want to actually take to the world is that how small time integrators, small innovation can, since yesterday I have been having conversations with many of you, and each of you can play a very important role to push this into what we foresee as a future. So welcome all. Entire journey of Vital, I will go back to 2003 when the green building movement in India started, 2001. But 2003, after the completion of the entire CII initiative, the first platinum rated building, I have been associated with that movement since 2003. And we've seen the evolution of ratings, standards over the last 22 years now. And you see how creating awareness around these rating systems transforms the market. Because there is, for example, Rajesh says, and here also we've been hearing that there is no awareness about this. The moment we bring it out as awareness, then choices open up, and that is what Vital is supposed to do. It is going to transform the market completely. So that has been the journey of the entire rating systems across India. We see that initially the baby steps were taken, and then it has been becoming more and more stringent, and by the time products also developed, standards also developed, everything came together, and then we are here today. The same journey we are going to take and we are going to experience in this Vital transformation also. So today, although we may be at baby steps, but tomorrow you play a very important role in its penetration and then the evolution of from the pilot version to the first version of Vital. Every rating system in India evolves from a pilot version. So today we are at a pilot version. There are many areas which need to be opened up. It will be done gradually. So that is what the Vital is all going to be about over the next 1 year. Now, what we are trying to bring over here is currently the VMV, which is the vision, mission, and the purpose, why we created this, and why INBAC is the creator of this program, because INBAC has been doing it successfully as a building automation community, and it is very important that something like this should have come up from the INBAC table and not from any other organization, because we are wanting to promote the small time innovator, the system integrator, and that is why it is really nice that INBAC is in the forefront of pushing this into the market. So it is India's first certification for buildings, digital infrastructure and smart technologies, connectivity, technological advancement. There is a clear vision which we have formed for this. So obviously vision statements are to be read. So I would just like to read it. To transform the global building industry by promoting adoption of smart digital infrastructure, enabling buildings to be more intelligent, sustainable, responsive, and resilient. Today, everybody is talking about resilience. So how resilience will play a very important role, let's understand that. And the vision looks ahead to a world where smart buildings contribute to not only energy efficiency, as rightly said, occupant well-being, and a lower carbon footprint. Sadanand sir, you said that in the first session, yeah, you said that everyone is looking at well-being now. So from the early evolution of BMS, where you were just like whisked off from the facilities to today. So that is a journey which we have made together. Let's look at the mission. Obviously, along with Rajesh, we are going to create this standard and benchmark, because every building, as it is evolving, we don't see common guidelines or benchmarks being adopted. The idea of Vital coming through was that there is a written document. Every building can take that document and at least start building infrastructure according to that document. Because this will give clear guidelines. How we have something, the sustainability journey has been like matured into today's level. Every building starts off with a sustainability guidebook, and they, architects, engineers, all work together to achieve those credit points, as we all know. So we wanted to create that through this mission of ensuring that they enhance occupant experience, operational efficiency, environmental performance, and all other parameters which we are working inside the buildings with. The purpose is very clear. We have defined 6 purposes for this program. The first one being guide the development of smart buildings, because INBAC is the creator. So obviously the standards have been worked upon. We will give the benchmarks how to look at smart buildings. Now, it has been very mature in its outlook. If you see, till today we are not able to collect the building data. But what we are saying is at least the common area data should be there on the cloud, or should be there for the third-party inspectors to inspect. Perhaps the tenant data will not flow in, because commercial buildings, they sign NDAs, they do not disclose data, but at least the common area data should be available. So what we are saying is, one more purpose is assess and certify building intelligence. So this will automatically create certain benchmarks. So what are these benchmarks? So we will be certifying that through this model. Promote sustainability and efficiency, which is currently the use case, as we are all seeing. It measures energy, it measures water, it measures air quality, it measures waste. So these are some of the elements which will get measured to reduce the environmental impact. 3 more purposes. Again, well-being and occupant experience is very important now for each stakeholder, whether it be an apartment, the end user is somebody who stays inside the apartment, commercial buildings, the tenant, and the occupiers and the visitors, whether it is a healthcare facility, a school. So the occupant has to bring the benefits. Rating is supposed to get the benefits to the occupant. It is not an asset rating. Please remember that a smart building rating is not an asset rating like a green building rating. It is a direct performance-based rating, which will finally be linked to the occupier. Yes. Key performance indicators will be measured and will be showcased. It will impact the occupant. And finally, we have to ensure future-proof design. Technologies are evolving continuously. Today, we are already talking about 6G penetration in India. India will be one of the fastest nations to adopt to 6G. Today, we are talking about satellite internet coming into India. So it has to be future-looking. It cannot be just be driven by some infrastructure which we have put into the building and we are just becoming stagnant over there. So it has to be future-looking and there has to be scalability into the building. So that is what we are laying down the guidelines and benchmarks for. Any building can adopt it. And finally, it can align with climate net zero and smart city goals. So these are the purpose with which we have defined it, the entire rating program. Now, before we go into a smaller, broad overview about the rating, we worked back end to ensure that it aligns with the various government initiatives, because that is where the push will come from. As a next step, what we plan to do is take it at the various forums of the government and talk about it, speak about it. For example, I am scheduled to now speak to the MCHI, where the entire builder community sits. It's a big platform, we all know it. So I am delivering a session on 25th at MCHI, where we'll be talking about this. So the idea is that we as a community go, and right now we see that the community is really small. Over the last 3-4 years, the progression is still within the community only. Now is the time where we want to reach out to all the stakeholders. It cannot be just within this automation community. Each one of you has a responsibility because you are the innovator. So we all have to work together in taking it to the next level. As you will take it to the next level, it is only your work which will keep expanding. We are going to be the body who will actually support you in taking it ahead to the next level. So my request is, this document will be perhaps in a few 2 months from now, it will be available for you. You may also talk about it. The idea is that entire forum talks one common language, because that is what we want at the government level. Various initiatives, whether it be Digital India, Skill India, because we are looking at upskilling for technology. We are going to create training over here for all our folks. You are going to create these initiatives, because if you have the benchmarks and the guidelines, then you have to physically train people to achieve those guidelines, what needs to be done. So we are helping in the Skill India program, especially on smart technologies. So this is again, what we are going to tell the government is that your upskilling, we are spreading it in the digital arena. So we are doing it in the area of smart technology. Emerging technologies, we all spoke about 6G, satellite internet, or further areas which are coming. Carbon will be one of the biggest areas which will get on the digital platform. Like, you have to understand what is a carbon tax, which may be soon coming in India. You have to pay the penalty for generating or emitting more carbon. So it will be measured on a digital dashboard. So these are some of the emerging technologies which we have to be ready towards. And that is what we are trying to do. Next is, again, without you, this is going to be zero. Because you are the innovator, you are the system integrator, and you are planning to take it to the next level. So each one of you, whether it be, I spoke to the gentleman over there, entire DC system inside buildings, your lighting. Imagine now your solar PV will get coupled to the DC system for lighting, and virtually there will be no medium voltage infrastructure for lighting. So it will be all PoE, it will be all on a Cat6 cabling. So this is the way we can co-create the entire smart technologies ka ecosystem by using the Startup India culture and Innovate India also. So we have tried to align it like a true Make in India system, trying to align with the various government initiatives. So that is one more quick thing which we did. Now scope, because you are going to be talking about it, where is it going to be applicable? This is really important to understand that I am not here to do, oh, I am only going to do commercial buildings because that will give me the maximum money. It is not about creating money for INBAC or money for Vital. It is about what impact we are creating in the occupier community or the end user community. We want to parallelly in all sectors, and the program has been made so diligently that it can be applicable to all sectors on day one. There is no tweaking required for this. So that is what we have ensured. But what we feel is that because there are two major areas which will require penetration. One will be we are going to target the residential segment because that requires a lot of innovation. Developers are not ready to adapt to it because obviously they have their own reasons. They have to make higher gains, higher margins, and they don't want to spend money. But at least what we are trying to do is slowly we will step up and make the awareness higher and higher at each passing year. When they see the full use of the system, perhaps they will start adopting it. We are not in a hurry. We want to do 20, 30 buildings and then see how the developers or how the occupiers are getting impacted, take the feedback into the system back, and then launch the final version. Please remember that. So we are at a very baby step stage as of today. But it was important that we launch it because pilot project, yeah. If we didn't launch, then these baby steps could have been taken. So residential, commercial, core and shell for the common areas, end use occupier for the owners. Then we have institutional, hospitality, healthcare, retail. It can be applied over there as well. And then we don't want to leave out where most of the automation solutions thrive actually. Here we are talking about so many solutions which may not be very deep in nature, but industrial automation is already thriving. We all know it. Industry is talking about Industry 5.0 today. So we are evolving from the 4.0 version now. And logistics parks, again, that is also having a lot of requirements because the way logistics parks are coming up in India, you will not believe the Amazons and the Flipkarts of the world now have started using air conditioning inside the warehouses also. So imagine what resource efficiency will be required to control through automation over there. So we are a multi-asset rating system and we will be applicable to all. Very simple, a competitive rating from across the world, US or UK, we have just got it certified. I became the first AP to actually deliver this building for our client Hiranandani. It was costing 40 lakh rupees, only the fees of the rating. We have tried to keep it ultra low over here because again, it's a non-profit organization which is running this rating program. We just want to cover our expenses. So we have really kept it ultra low because we want to penetrate very fast into the end user market. So over a 1 year journey, we expect at least 50 projects will come in and we will be able to showcase the results for 50 projects. What we are saying is that the registration fees is very simple, 21,000 rupees. Pre-certification, many occupiers require pre-certification. We have kept it at only 2,21,000 rupees for a 5 lakh square feet building, up to 5 lakh square feet. And final certification is 5,51,000 rupees. And I think today we are going to launch the EOI also, expression of interest. It is going out via the media to many of the developer community which knows us, who's in touch with us. So today, if within the next 1 month EOI pe response aata hai and they want to register, we will be offering certain discounts because we want to capture the first few market entrants who want to experience this rating. And anything above 5 lakh square feet or volume program. So what we want to do is, we want to create a neighborhood program, a campus program also across this vital rating program. So we are in the evolutionary stage, but anyone wants to look at a campus rating. If you have any customers, your own clients, we will be willing to talk to them there is a dedicated email ID created. It's called support@thevital.org. So you can participate, you can ask your client to ask questions over there, and we'll be happy to answer that. This is live. It has got a dedicated desk which will be taking all the queries, bringing back to the specialist, and we will be resolving all the queries. Support@thevital.org. Let's move ahead. What we've done is, I have made it very simple. How are we going to implement it? Because you are the important stakeholder and you are going to go to market with this rating program. I have kept it very simple in an infographic format, that how it is being looked at. What we are telling is that the overall program to administer should take around 90 to 120 days once the documentation comes in. So where we start, so review the vital credit categories. So there is a vital credit category, which I will just show you the overall picture, what it consists of, how many things are there in that. So we call it the 9 pillars framework of vital, the 9 pillar framework. That we will review, and then we will input that, check with the DBRN designs that where the feasibility of the project lies. We will do a design review and come up with a gap analysis, and then from the gap analysis, the BOQ tender will be brought in, and all those conditions. For example, if there is something missing on connectivity which needs to come in. So we will identify those gaps and fill in the data to the developer or their consultant. That why you have planned the network this way, you can plan 2 or 3 networks parallelly coming in the building. So this is a small example. Then we give a system integration review. So we play on the behalf of system integrator, that this is how the overall SLD should look like. Where the system integrator will come in, and he will play a very important critical role. So between the program administrators, like a AP, he will be called a AP who will administer the program, an accredited professional, and the system integrator. There has to be continuous data exchange, evolution. In some parts of the world, the system integrator also has become an AP. So we invite the system integrator to participate, because if he is able to understand the program, then he'll be able to gel everything together and bring it to the community, developer community. And then finally, once that is done, during the execution and planning stage, there could be 1 or 2 reviews, checks, site rounds, visits, and the final target credit points. We want it evidence-based. I am telling you, we are creating a platform which nobody else has created today, because it is going to be a digital rating, a smart building rating. We want no paperwork coming to anywhere, no paperwork happening. We want everything on the cloud from day one. That is one change which we are trying to bring in. And there is only evidence-based. I don't want anything intent-based in the program. कि हम करेंगे फलाने टाइम में 6 महीने में करेंगे, नहीं. फोटोग्राफ निकालिए, उस पर अपलोड कीजिए, तभी हो गया, नहीं तो नहीं होगा. So some basic principles we have brought in the program, that if there is no evidence, we are not going to give those points away. So it has to be evidence-based, performance-based system. And then finally, the documentation will automatically come to the cloud. It will be third-party reviewed, so there will be some other APs who are not associated with the project who will check the data, and they will certify the project. Overall, this process will take around, first is application, so 30 days between first submission and the review. So once it is uploaded on the cloud, first submission review will happen. Then we will address queries raised by third party within the next 30 days, and perhaps within the final 30 days, the vital certification is earned. So I would say, end to end for a project about to be commissioned, it will be 120 days. This is not talking about the prior period to documentation, which we will get associated at early stages of the project. So we all know that we have to participate in the concept development, schematic development. So that all will happen. That is up to the life cycle of the project. If it is a 2-year project, then we'll have to get associated at 2 years. We will request all the developer community that when the MEP consultant is onboarded, that time only we should also be onboarded, so that inputs can flow parallelly, as we all know. So we are co-creating together the entire project. So this is the INBAC timeline which we've decided, and we already saw yesterday some form of awards have been created. Hiranandani got that award. That is not the final one. We are still creating very global standard awards, so it could be a glass plaque or it could be a rectangular frame. That was just temporary yesterday to recognize that the first mover. But we are creating that, we are creating some stickers which will be stuck on the entrance doors of the building. So all that will help us to push the agenda ahead on Vital. Where the AP will get involved. So this is because AP is the most important guy who's going to take to the customer the entire Vital program. What we will do is, initially we are going to recognize a few partners who show tremendous affinity towards taking it ahead to the market. So there could be a few players who are very experienced and who come from the same background, building automation community, or they are into, as a consultant, they are low voltage consultants. So we will recognize them as APs, and we will again co-create a program where AP accreditation will happen on a digital platform. So that is the idea. For the first 6 months, we will run it, perhaps one in each region, one in north, one in south, one in east, one in west. So that is the program, how to take it ahead. But the AP involvement is going to be very clear. He is going to be involved at drawing board stage, at procurement stage, and at construction stage. And I have mentioned the stakeholders also, where at the drawing board stage, he will play a very important role. First, he will understand the architectural layout of the building. He will give his inputs on digital infra, because we are not only talking about smart building, we are talking about the common infra also to be digital and smart. So that is where the input will come, and evaluation and assessment. Then he will look at BOQs, tenders, so that all the inputs are captured. And then finally, the final guy who's going to execute the work at site, he also needs the instruction from the AP. So that is where the AP involvement will be very highly respected, and we are expecting that each one of you who's planning to become an AP can help us to administer this program successfully. This is the first time we are opening up this entire 9 pillars of the Vital, and this is going to be a game-changing thing in the industry wherever we are going. So many of us spoke about, yesterday there was a very big session which was like, what should be done? It is no longer about what should be done. We are just bringing everything now over here, and it is to make it happen. Gone are the days, जो 10-15 years पहले का जो BMS का जो language चल रहा था, वो अभी हमें नहीं बात करना है. अभी हमें ये language बात करनी पड़ेगी सबको in the building automation community. So we are talking about digital infra first, how the network is coming inside the building and how it will go to the floors, and what is the kind of connectivity required inside the building to take care of the future also. So that will be defined over here, and it has got some 20 credit points. Then comes digital readiness. So although we may not use the entire infrastructure, but we have to be digitally ready. The building has to be ready. So we will give some credits to the digital readiness aspects of the building. And why resilience in bold or in caps? Because this is where the future is. We all are seeing a struggle around the climate. There are floods, there are flash floods, there are torrential rains, there is risk, there is a lot of climate risk. So how can we sustain that and make it a part of our resilience strategy? What are the risk mitigation strategies? What will be the adaptation strategies for risk? So that is what resilience will talk about as we go into the detail. And you see how the 9 pillars, there is a unique identification code which has been done, which is called UID. So we name it as DIC, Digital Infrastructure Connectivity, Digital Readiness and Resilience. Now comes the health and well-being. It is as you rightly said, it is no longer about only energy or only water. The entire story is going to change now. If we bring this out, that how health and well-being can be reported. Yesterday I was sitting with a company called Catera. I know most of you must be knowing, they are also into sensors. They have launched a revolutionary product which is Wi-Fi enabled. You imagine that you don't require any wire and you just mark out a spot in an existing building where the sensor needs to be launched. They've come up with a revolutionary system. You open that tape and just stick it over there, and it will start giving you data of indoor air quality. Not only CO2 or PM10, it is talking about 9 values which nobody has heard about. So that is the kind of technology which is available. Isn't it our duty to now integrate it into the buildings and into the ratings so that it can be made use of it? So this is how the market transformation will be supported. When we are talking about here health and well-being, perhaps 10 Cateras will be born. That is how we are seeing the evolution of the market. So my request to all of you is, bring everybody together as an important stakeholder and make it a part of this program, and that is how we will co-create a journey or a story of success between the system integrator, the OEM supplier, and the INBAC community and the Vital program. So Vital program is a framework where everybody, all the stakeholders come together and push it hard so that each one of us can create a success story. Next is very important. Now we are seeing BRSR, building reporting, sustainability reporting. Top 500 corporates, later top 1000 corporates have to report their data. We are creating a dashboard or expecting the owner to create a dashboard, but we have made the data set available. It is at exemplary level. Matlab, you may not, for platinum it may be required, because people will say, "Arey, initially मैं क्यों पैसा खर्चा करूं?" So what we are saying is, you come onto the platform, experience it for 1, 2, 3 years, become certified or silver, then you go to the next level, up to platinum, if you find advantages. So imagine your carbon data, your CO2, PM2.5, then your EPI, water consumption, everything gets automated onto the dashboard and it gets picked up on the cloud. So this is what we are trying to do. Now, what will happen for a base rating? At least the common infra, you bring it out, Baba, if not everybody's data. तो बिल्डिंग का कॉमन एरिया का एनर्जी कंजम्पशन कितना है, वाटर कितना है, कितने विजिटर अंदर बिल्डिंग में आते हैं, तो वो सब तो हम लेकर आए डैशबोर्ड पे, फिर आहिस्ते का आगे का इंटीग्रेशन करेंगे. सो दैट इज हाउ वी हैव प्लान्ड इट टू बी. Operations and maintenance, again nobody gives this important point coverage inside a rating program. We are the first ones actually. While I create this program, we have created this launch today. Will you believe, today I just received a pop-in message. I am a part of a technical committee at another rating program in IGBC. We have co-created a program for facility management. It is called Eco-Label program for the facility management teams. Only first time, that is where that operations and maintenance aspect is coming in. Otherwise, we've been transformational in our thought process ki how alerts will be given, how the entire program can be automated so that, now for example at Hiranandani, so Gautam is sitting right over here. In his mobile, he's got the entire alert system. It comes over the Telegram app and it goes to the facility manager. So we can do better operations and maintenance. And this is not only for the parameters of energy, water, but visitor management, occupants, indoor air quality, STP, whether it is functioning or not. So that all alerts can be activated, which we can see over here. Revolutionary life safety and security. We all understand the importance, but we never give coverage to it. Let's give it due requirement कि at least आपका CFO NOCs are in place, your NBC compliances are in place. That is what we will check when we are looking at this smart program. And have you provided for common CCTV cameras? Whatever is the bare minimum which a building should have. So life, safety and security will be also taken care of with this program. Now this is a game changer because we want the government to be closely involved with us, because we want to push the agenda in the government also. What we've done is we've taken the government program of LIFE, which was launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Lifestyle for Environment. How many of us are aware that there is such a program which is existing by the government of India? अगर हमको कम्युनिटी में पता नहीं है तो इमेजिन द प्लाइट ऑफ द कॉमन पीपल हु आर वर्किंग इनसाइड बिल्डिंग्स, हु आर वर्किंग इनसाइड होम्स, दे आर तो नॉट अवेयर ओनली. What we've done through this program is we've taken the government program Lifestyle for Environment and we've tried to create awareness. So these 10 points can easily be scored. Now जो भी sensor related है, they people might not invest initially, so they will find it difficult to get the program implemented. But हम क्या बोल रहे हैं, जो basic points है आप वो लेके certify हो जाइए, silver हो जाइए. तो आपको क्या करना है, गवर्नमेंट का लाइफस्टाइल प्रोग्राम लेना है, अपने कम्युनिटी में, अपने ऑक्यूपेंट्स में उसको स्प्रेड करना है, अवेयरनेस. सो दिस इज समथिंग वेरी यूनिक विच नोबडी एल्स इज डूइंग एनीवेयर in India for the rating program, whether it be lead, well, whatever you pick up. So these are some initiatives which we will take it to the end user, and that is what the idea is. Now we all know data security. Yesterday I think there was a big conference where Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji chaired and Mr. Akash Ambani made a statement that data security is of prime importance. All the data should remain within India only. So we are wanting to actually put up some cyber security standards that which will be adopted inside the building, and so that tenants are also not afraid of giving their data out for this purpose. So that is what the idea is. It's very difficult. I have tried it at Quantum. They are not passing on the data to the Hiranandani cloud because they are saying कि आप क्या करोगे उस data का. So we will show them next कि this is the awareness we want to create and take it to the next level. And then this last section is to recognize each one of you over here कि what we are bringing, doing innovatively, what are the technologies we are bringing and what are the services we are bringing. This is recognition for the small time innovator, because we think that we cannot work only with the big OEMs. The class lies in the system integration, and system integrator are not those big companies. It may be smaller firms whom the INBAC community is associated with. So tomorrow we want to create an ecosystem of such partners that you are with us in this community, and can this be on the Vital website so that everyone whosoever asks कि अरे भाई इसको करेंगे कैसे, here is a guidebook which will enlist all the system integrators, OEMs, sensor suppliers. So we have that thought that we can put everything together. In a year or so, the directory development will happen and we will start uploading it on the website. So this is how we foresee the entire progress coming through for the entire rating program. Now what it is going to do is, it is a 100-point rating system, and then you will get certain number of points on the adaptation, whatever you've put inside the building. And we will get a score of 50 to 59, 60 to 69, 70 to 79, or 80 to 100. So accordingly, in global standards, certified in line with the global standards, certified silver, gold, platinum, that is how we want to recognize the building whose or the asset which has gone for it. Last is, so something like this, a plaque would look like very different for each one. It could be a pre-certified, will be just normal, certified, silver rated, the backdrop will be silver, gold, or platinum. So this is how, or we are trying to make it in a glass format also, which can be put on the desk, on the building wall. So this is how the development is happening. What I'm trying to say is that although we are not 100% complete, but what we have done is we have decided that there is a go-to-market system. We are inviting first few participants to co-create the further development of the program, because that is where we will learn. कि first 50 projects जैसे उन्होंने लिया, उन्होंने बोला चलो हम इसको लगाते हैं, ये थोड़ा शायद difficult है, इसमें मेरा ये suggestion आ रहा है, तो we will incorporate that and take it to the next level of the program. So this was the entire journey of the 9 pillars of Vital, and why we are coming at an inflection point. It's a tipping point. Every asset has to talk this language now. No longer in isolation, in silos, we will talk कि अरे किसने खाली security कर लिया, हम सबको एक साथ लेकर आ रहे हैं. Lighthouse projects have already been created. I think in small groups we can go and see, Sakhi can be contacted and then we can go in small groups to see the first lighthouse projects. Yes, the final slide. What is the development which is going on? So we are now a dedicated AP platform for digital submissions. We plan to create this in the fourth quarter of 24-25, which is January to March ka period. A dedicated online cloud-based platform will be available where documentation can be submitted and AP training can happen. Website soft launch is today by Sakhi. So we will soon have this launch, and final launch will be on 15 December. So the first few project registrations based on the EOI, you may spread this news across. It will happen on 15 December. That is when officially we launch the program on 15th of December. And today is the EOI launch date. We already have a form ready. You may just take a form and take it. It is a digital form again. We never wanted to keep anything on paper.